Welcome back, guys. Jonlar here with another episode of Thought Play, the series where I take topics suggested by you guys or by myself, because recently I've felt like I need to make more personally decided topics and talk about them while playing a variety of different games. In this episode, we are playing a game called Reap or Reap. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Reap, but I thought I don't know. When I first read it, I thought Reap, and that's kind of what I've been saying. And it's kind of a funny joke. My friend sent it to me. It was a London Dare game, and it's actually really fun. It ends kind of abruptly, but the game takes long enough to play that you won't see the ending in this video. But it's kind of fun. I do recommend you go check it out. It's just a quick little play it through once or twice. There's some different difficulty modes that you can play if you really, really, really enjoy it and you want to try. But yeah, and then the topic I'm going to be talking about is growing up, because this is the first video I have made in another week or two or so. Because, yeah, not necessarily of my choice. I just really have not had time at all to make any videos these past couple weeks. I've gotten really busy with a couple things I was doing with school, along with the normal, the normal heavy amounts of schoolwork that I've been having, but I thought it was appropriate that, since it has been so long, and the reason for that is kind of along with the topic, to make this topic growing up. I just realized that made absolutely no sense, but I think you maybe get what I mean. Essentially, the topic's about growing up because I myself, along with the rest of you, are growing up, and it has an effect on things. So, I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I guess growing up is a thing that everyone does. Everyone is always doing, because that's kind of the way it's kind of the way the concept of time works. I mean, as time goes on, we're growing up, and time is going on right now, and I'm growing up as I write this. I can't even speak. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be making this. Anyway, time goes on, and I am growing up even just as I make this video and as you watch it. And that's kind of an interesting thing to think about, and I didn't think this video was going to take me here, because this is making me contemplate things a lot. Anyway, yeah, we're all growing up. We're always growing up. That's the way growing up works. But there's a certain, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way for people who might be older and experience more, but there's a certain point in your sort of teenage years where growing up, probably around the part where you start really having to think about colleges and your future, there's a point where growing up really hits you as a thing. Like, I'm making a major transition in my life from being somebody, being a child who is dependent on their family and other people to help them through just about everything, eating, learning, whatever it might be. It can be anything, shelter, money, all that kind of stuff that, we need, quote unquote need for our modern lifestyles. And it, about the age, actually, probably even a year or two younger than I am, even, you start to think about it. But it gets to a point where it really hits you, as it's something where you are getting to a point where you have to start thinking about your future and about the parts of your future where you will no longer be a dependent human being. You'll be, independent, working, doing stuff for yourself, and not having anyone to necessarily do it for you. And, obviously some people are more prepared than that for others. Personally, I'm not sure how prepared I am really for that. It's a concept, or like the prospect of growing up is something that generally scares me. I don't know if terrified is quite the right word, because it's not like something I'm like deathly afraid of, but I mean, it's scary. It's a, big thing, and it's kind of scary. And kind of where I was going with this is, one of the things that's kept me busy this year, or these past couple weeks, is because I was helping out at school with the handout of our laptops and stuff. It took a lot of time, made a video for it and stuff. It just took a lot of the extra time that I would have had to work on YouTube type stuff out of my day. And then also having to catch up on the work that I missed and such from in class. It just took time. And then the other thing that took time is recently we had a bit of a career fair type thing where some colleges came, and well, there were career stuff and there were colleges that came, and it's one thing, you look around, you're like, hey, I want to get into a good college where I can learn about something that I'm interested in and all that. But it's another thing when you're looking there and you're thinking, I'm looking at these colleges, I'm picking up information, I'm giving colleges information, that kind of stuff. But it's kind of hard to think that, like, this is actually something, I kind of came to this point where I realized this is actually something I'm seriously having to think about right now. I'm seriously... I don't know how to say this. I probably should have thought this through a little better before I started. But the fact that I am actually sitting here considering different colleges to go to where I can go on my own, and this will, and that will be a big thing on my future. And the fact that I'm growing up to a point where I have to choose where I want to go to spend my first extended periods of time being more independent and learning how to be independent and take care of an independent lifestyle afterwards. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, and I'm sure some of you this will make more sense to than others, but it's just, I don't know, just these recent, this year, really, mostly just this year, I started thinking, it was starting to be a thing last year, but especially this year, as I do have to do a lot more of this career, future, growing up oriented stuff. It's just sort of come to a realization as me. It's like I'm making a major transition in growing up. Like I started off this video. We're all always growing up. That's just the way time works. We're always getting older. But I came to a realization recently that I'm in this part of my life where I'm making a major transition. I'm not just growing up just to grow up. I'm not just getting older. I am getting to a point where my age is going to start making a large difference on my life. And I don't know, it's just something, it's not necessarily something that I'm unhappy about or that I'm happy about. It's something new, something exciting, something a little scary even. It's just, like I said, it's just a prospect it's new to me, it's scary, it's, like I said, not quite terrifying, but in ways it is. There are certain parts of it where it's like, am I ready? I don't know. This is a much deeper sort of contemplation type of thought play than our normal, like, talk about the facts of something or something. But I don't know, it's just something that I've spent a lot of time recently thinking about, as I do find, it's like, when I was younger, I made videos all the time. That was something I did. I made all these different YouTube videos, and I'm looking back on that like, how did I have time to do that? Like, where did I find the time to do this? And that was something that I did. And I'm thinking, right now it's like I would never have the time to do these things now. Like, I'm finding myself struggling to put out one video a week even. And hopefully, and just for those of you who are still watching and care about this, hopefully I'll be getting, I'm going to try for one video a week. Hopefully I can do a little better than that soon. I don't know, but since a lot of the laptop handout stuff is over, I'm hoping that maybe my workload will drop back a little bit and I'll have a little extra time, but I don't know. We'll have to see. It's just something we'll have to see about. And yeah, I don't know. This topic isn't, like, I could talk about this forever. I feel like I should end it off as a video because people don't watch, certainly not past whatever I'm at, 8.5 minutes. Very few people watch through here. And that's kind of, it's kind of disappointing because I have a lot of, good thoughts that come later in the videos, but I don't know a good way to really keep you guys entertained, keep your attention in a video like this. If you're not interested in listening to what I have to ramble about, there's not a whole lot that I can do to make that more interesting, because I could try and make it exciting, I could try and make it interesting or funny, but it's not the point of these videos. The point of these videos is for me to speak my mind, speak my thoughts about different topics, and for whoever wants to listen to them, for as long as they want to listen to them. And I know there are a couple of you from my school who might be watching this. Not a whole lot of people at school know about my YouTube channel, or those that do, not a whole lot know about it significantly, really, or more than just like, oh yeah, he makes YouTube videos or something. Like, people that would actually be watching and possibly are watching this video right now. And that's a little awkward to think about, thinking that I have to, like, go to school and these people know that I was talking about my future and stuff. That's a little weird, but I don't know where I'm going with this video anymore. It's a little late too. I probably should be sleeping, but I wanted to get this out because I haven't. And, that's kind of how I started this video. It was, I haven't had a lot of time to make videos because I've been growing up. I've been doing a lot focused on my future, and the future is a prospect or a topic. I had a word earlier I thought that I used, or that I was thinking about using, that really, I felt like really summed it up, but I can't remember what it was. So that's unfortunate. But there's just, I don't know, the future is a thing. It's a thing. It's a constant thing. Everyone has a future. You all have futures, I know. But I've realized that a major sort of, the point that every younger kid calls their future, becoming an adult, is drawing extremely near to me. And while that, like I said, while that is exciting and interesting and all that, it's also pretty scary. And that's kind of the reoccurring theme throughout this, is growing up is interesting, we all do it, but it's scary. Especially at certain points, it's scary. And I am not ashamed to say that I am scared of growing up, because I am. It's a scary thing. And I know there are some people that are more prepared for it than others. There are people who spend a lot more time on their own and stuff in, around my age, in their teenage years and stuff, or even younger than that, for whatever reason, or multiple reasons. But it's just not something that I have personally done a lot of. Being a little more introverted and stuff, I just don't, I don't spend quite as much time out doing things. And that's not a bad thing either. I mean, like, when it comes time to be, I'll be able to. It's not like I'm like such a hermit that like having to go to college will like kill me or anything. It's just like, it's just something, it will be something that I'm not used to. And there are some people that are more used to it than others. That's kind of where I'm going with that topic. And I don't know. I mean, recently, I've been doing more stuff that, gets me more, I feel more independent. I do feel more independent than I have been, but I certainly am not as independent as some kids my age, some kids younger, and certainly not as much as many kids or even adults older than me. And I'm okay with that. That's not a problem. I'm not complaining about that. It's just something that I was thinking about as I talked about. It's something that there are people who are more or less worried and, about this type of stuff than I am, and that's kind of interesting. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? If you are still watching at this 12 and a half minutes of the video or whatever, if you're still watching, what are your feelings about your future? Maybe how old are you? No, you don't necessarily have to give me an exact age, but preteen, teen, adult, whatever your, whether it be middle-aged, young adult, whatever your age is, maybe tell me what's your age and how do you feel about growing up? Because I feel like it's one of those things where I've shared my opinion here, but I think we're missing the major factor of, this is just my opinion, my age, and there are a lot of people who are of different ages or even of the same ages with different backgrounds, different experiences, who have a different outlook on their future. And I'm curious to know what do you guys think about your future? Not necessarily even your future, but just the future. How do you see the future as a thing? Just how do you view it? What is it like for you? What does it look like? What is it? I don't know how to. I don't know. I'm just sort of curious. How do you guys perceive the future? Because personally, I perceive it, as I said, as an interesting, exciting thing that is also quite scary. I've repeated that a couple of times now because that's really the main thing I was going to talk about for this video. It's interesting, it's exciting, it's scary, all of these things because it's unknown. That's the thing. It's an unknown. I have no clue how my future's going to go. I can try my best to do things to push it in the direction that I want it to go or in a direction that I'd like it to go. But you never know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. You hear all these stories about blank happens to blank and, and it changes their life. And it, that kind of stuff happens, like personally, I haven't had a whole lot of stuff like that. Well, I mean, I say I haven't had a whole lot of stuff like that, but then even things like YouTube or just online in general, the people I've met, the things that I've done, have changed my life. They really have. And I know that sounds super cheesy, but they have, because, you know, if I were to have done this, my life would be different. It's true. I'm really rambling on. This is going to be a really long video, but I feel like I still have interesting things to say. I don't even know. But just, yeah, I don't know. Everything you do makes a difference, but sometimes there are things that happen, you know, really dramatic things that happen really quickly that make a bigger difference on your life. Things that have an effect that you never expected. Like, I don't even know what to use an example. There's so many different things, and it really depends on the person too, but like, yeah, I can do the best that I can try to work toward, you know, choosing a college, choosing a career, all of that, but you never know what's going to happen and change that, and it very well could. So the future is an unknown. You really don't know what you're doing, where you're going, what's going to happen, and that's the scary part. It's also the exciting part. Everyone loves a little adventure. Everyone loves, you know, a little uncertainty. Everyone loves a little surprise, but when it's something that so directly impacts you as your own future, as, you know, your life from now on, you know, what's going to happen to you, it can be scary to not know. To me, at least. I guess I should really specify to me. I imagine that's the same way it is for everyone else, but it's something that generally is scary to me. And I think I'm going to end it off here. I could rant on for longer, and if any of you do have interesting things to say about this in the comments, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it, you know, in the comments. But at this point, I feel like I'm repeating myself and adding in more topics that just get me to ramble on. And I think this is one of those things I could talk about for ages and ages, because it's something that I've been thinking a lot about recently, because it's something that it's so near to me, and it's sort of it's like a big, ominous, looming thing that's, you know, very, very close, but I don't feel ready to I don't know, feel ready to I don't know, face head on, you know, accept it. And yeah, I think I said I was going to end off the video, right? Yeah, because I just keep ranting on about stuff. But yeah, I'm more than happy to talk with any of you about it. For those of you who are younger, if you are worried about growing up, I might be able to help you if you have questions or something. For those of you who are younger than me, I won't promise anything, but if you do have questions, feel free to ask them, because I'm willing to answer them. I'm willing to answer them. I would like to help you if you need it, or even if you just want it, if you have questions, you know, whatever. I'm still drawing out this video. I just feel like I haven't brought it to a close well, and I don't know how to bring it to a close. You know what? Maybe that's just it. It's not a thing that you can bring to a close. Your future is a very open thing. The future goes on forever. You know, as you get older, your future, you know, as you're growing up, you're going into your future, but you're also getting nearer to other futures. I don't know if this even make any sense anymore, but, you know, this video won't have a good ending, because I could talk about the future forever, because the future is always a thing. The future is always a thing. I mean, at a certain point, you know, something happens, the Earth is gone, you know, future, still technically, with our theory of time, with our concept of time, the future is still a thing, just not for any of us. But, yeah, it's a topic, growing up, the future, all that kind of stuff, is a topic that doesn't have an end, because it goes on forever. And I think that's enough ranting for now. We're pushing toward 20 minutes here. I'm just gonna end it off. I'm done. I'm cutting myself off. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like this was a good episode. I doubt any of you watched to this point. If you did, you probably skipped here. But leave a comment down below, writing, I don't even know what to, smiley sun, because I'm looking at a little sun there. It looks kind of smiley. So smiley sun in quotation. Write it down in the comments if you're still watching right now. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys understand why I haven't been able to make quite as many videos. I'm hoping to get back into it here, but I keep saying that and it doesn't happen. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed. Leave comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.
Shut up, John. up, John?